So please input your email, right? So just input your email, your last name, first name, and then if you're grade 9, you're coming in as a class of 2029. So just click next. All right, so these are required classes for grade 9. And please know that there's not a lot of elective options because there's a lot more required courses for grade 9. So English 9 required, social studies, you click that, history 9 is required, Bible 9 is required, science, biology is the required science course for grade 9, and PE is required. And you go next. Dear grade 8 parents, this is a quick insert to the video that we made for new families about math placements in high school. So math placements for all middle school is made from the middle school, especially the math teacher. So you do not need to take the math readiness evaluations. That's on the course request. That is for new families that are coming not from BFA. So this is the high school math track. So grade 9, you can only be placed into Math 1 core, Math 1, Math 1 core, Math 1, or Math 2. Now, if your child is on a standard progression, for example, Math 8, you're going to be placed into Math 1. If you're in Math 1, you'll be placed into Math 2. So you do not need to make any requests because this is a standard progression. Guidance counselor is just automatically going to put the student into these appropriate math classes. But if your child is on a non-standard progression, so for example, if a grade 8 student is in Math 7, or the student is not completing the course satisfactorily, like for example, Math 8, they're going to go to Math 1 core, or another example is if the child is going to take an accelerated math, for example, if you want your child to go from Math 1 to Algebra 2, all these things is going to be communicated with the families directly. So at this point, you should have gotten some sort of communication from the math department in the middle school if your child is on a non-standard progression. And the middle school is gonna communicate to high school math department and also the guidance counselors, and that's the course that we're gonna place them into in their course request. So again, just to recap, all math placement from middle school is decided from middle school, and you do not need to take the math readiness readiness evaluations. So on this form, just ignore this section at the top. And at the bottom, you can just type, I understand that this is the math course track. So math, every new student has to take the math readiness evaluations. Now, this will open up in 7th of April, so you cannot actually do it right away. So your math placement will be determined by the results of this evaluations. But this is a sheet to explain our standard math course track. So grade 9 students, depending on like what scores you get, you'll be placed into one of these 3 math, and grade 10, 11, and so forth. If you think that you will be accelerated in math courses, that's something that you want to communicate in the math readiness evaluations. So just say, I understand. Then go to the next one, foreign language. So every student needs 2 years of foreign language, and you can choose, we only offer 3 languages. So you can choose French 1, 2, or German or Spanish. Now, remember, if you're signing up for level 1 courses, right, you don't need to take the readiness evaluations for foreign language. But if you're signing up for a level 2, you think like, hey, I know some French, I want to test into French 2. Select French 2, and then later on April 7th, the foreign language readiness evaluations will be sent to you. So if you did French 2, just know that April 7th, that's when the evaluations will be sent. Another big section, study hall. So what is a study hall? It's a designated time during the school day that helps students to work on their homework. They can either meet with their guidance counselors or maybe have academic support, or if they have private music lessons, or they need to talk to a counselor. So the attendance is taken, but this is, you can call it like a free period where students get their work done, and they don't count as an academic credit. So on their schedule, it'll show up on their schedule, but it doesn't count towards their credit. Okay. So as a 9th grader, because the most of the courses are required. Students, if they want to take any elective, they will actually have to drop a study hall. Let me show you what that means. I have a sample grade 9 schedule. So again, we have 7 blocks from period A through G, and for grade 9s, all of them except you can see the student A, B, D, E, F, G. All of these are required courses for a grade 9. Okay, the student has a study hall in C period. So you can see if you do have a study hall in your grade 9 schedule, you will not have room for any electives. But the student for the first top is the fall semester. The second bottom is the spring. This student, after a study hall, wanted to do something else other than the required courses. So this student has dropped a study hall in the spring semester, and you can see added graphic arts because this student is like, oh, I wanna try out computer design and things like that. So this student has a study hall in the fall and no other elective options because all other classes are required. Second semester, dropped study hall and added graphic arts and elective class because this student wanted to be in that class. So that's how you can see why if you have a study hall, you'll not have other options for electives. If you want elective options starting in the fall and spring, then you won't have a study hall. So that's what this thing means. So study hall preference. Do you want it fall semester only or spring, or you want it both, right? Some students need both. Or if you say none, you're saying I will have elective credits, elective classes in both the fall and the spring. So let's just say none. And then if you go to the next, it'll say electives. So there are 6 elective options below in order of preference. Now, this is a request. You're not guaranteed to get into these courses once you select something. And the reason we have 6 is because sometimes like one elective conflicts with math class, so we need to have another one. That's why you have 6. So you will get, if you do choose like put 6, you will at least get into 1 or 2 of these things. So there's a courses. If you need some explanation of what the courses means, please refer to our course catalog. So I want to take ceramics 1. I want to try out home basics. Please know that if it's a graphic arts 2 and there's an asterisk, it means you have to first go through the level 1 course before you can sign up for the second one. I want to try out intro to acting, and then you just select anything. Oh, piano sounds good. Choir, I like singing. And by the way, choir recommended 1 full year. You can take it a semester, but it is recommended 1 full year. Same with band. I want to try out band. Okay. And then you click next. All right, if there's any other information that you want to communicate with your counselor, you can type it here. I do not want to take any study hall. Right? You know that your child is going to manage schoolwork well. You can do that. So, and then you press submit. All right. So that is for grade 9 students.